Hey, Bayek, it's me, and in today's video, I'm continuing my look at, well, the first season of The X-Files. Yes, I'm really enjoying this. Anyhow, let's get on with it. Today's episode is episode 6, Shadows, 1993. It was transmitted, of course, 2nd of October, 1993, on the Fox network, and on the 24th of October 1994 in the UK it was transmitted by the BBC and BBC Two, yes, and it was doing very well, yes. Now this is usual standard time, 45 minutes long. We've had, before this, we had The Jersey Devil. And the next one is Ghost in the Machine. Right. Now, this is written by the wonderful duo in the X-Files, Glenn Morgan, James Wan, who are so creative. They do all sorts of things. And, of course, the Final Destination movies I always think about a lot with James Wan. Fantastic. And they do another good job. They're so inspired in what they do. They're great writers. Then this was directed by Michael Catelman, probably Catelman. Yes, I've not heard of him either. I looked him up. He's just one of those solid directors who did lots of TV episodes for series, and also he's a producer. So he's, he knows what he's doing in his particular area. As I say, with directors, sometimes they're in there to do the job because you've got a well-oiled production company behind them, or people involved in this series. So the director, it just has to come in and do the job, and some do it with perhaps more flair than others. And as long as you get a good job, that's all they're looking for. But it's great when a director, can add something also special to it. But it's great anyway. So it's just another solid director from TV. This also, as usual, has the music by Mark Snow, which is absolutely excellent. Also, you've got the normal locations, again, all around Vancouver. You have got Crease Clinic, Riverdale Hospital, which is in, again, British Columbia, around the sort of areas, and the usual Vancouver all around. So it always looks good. This is one of the great things about this show. Whoever comes in as a director, they've got all this wonderful locations to work on, which really enhances a show. You can't mess it up. You can't. Yes. Oh, right. Now let's get into the cast. We've got David Duchovny as Fox Mulder, and we've got Gillian Anderson as Dana Scully. They're already so comfortable in these roles. Brilliant. Then we've got Brian Primus playing Robert Dorland. Notable films that I looked up were The Rose from 1979. That stars Bette Midler. Very good story. It's a biographical story, that one. Really good. Then I just had to play this one out. Yes, I'm sorry, but he made me laugh. He was in a film called Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death from 1989. What a title of a film. It makes you want to watch it, and it makes you think, God, I bet that's absolutely awful, but it was You just can't help it. What a title. Absolutely love it. Now, a film that recent times that a lot of people really love, it's a Scorsese film, was The Irishman. Yes, 2019. He's in that. He's got quite a massive career experience, and he's in here in The X-Files. Then we have got Lisa Waltz playing Lauren Kyle, a very important part of this story. She is the sort of pivotal part, really. Now, looking at her, she's a very solid TV actress in just lots of episodes and TV movies. Again, very good. Just pops up everywhere in all these TV shows, but she gives a really good performance here. Very professional, really, and adds a lot of depth as well, I think, to her character. Then we've got Kelly Fox playing the pathologist. Notable film she was in, I know, this was Time Cop. Oh, the Van Damme Time Cop film. Absolutely love that. And again, just lots of her face that just pops up in all these TV episodes and TV series. Then we've got an Indian actress, Veena Sood, who plays Miss Saunders. She was in Time Cop. Hey, buy it, Time Cop. Also, if you like an interesting connection, she was in Final Destination 2. Yes, and we know the writers involved here. Haha. Wonder if that's a coincidence. She's also appears in another X-File episode. Yes, she appears in Home Again, which was from what they describe now as the 10th season. At the time, it was an event miniseries. So, in effect, we have got seasons 10 and 11. This only had 6 episodes, I think, season 10. But I think the season 11, may have had a bit more. I think it had about 10 episodes. So, yeah, that's what I often think, X-Files only had 9 seasons, but that's wrong, really, because it had these other, I call them miniseries, but yeah, effectively they are seasons 10 and 11. So yeah, so I'm going off the track again there, aren't I? So she was in that, so she's this is her first appearance, but she appears again in the X-Files a few years later, as they say. And again, she's another actress who just is amazing amount of work she's done for TV episodes and films. Absolutely fantastic. Right. Now, what I'll do is, I'm just going to say something as well. Apparently, the writers said this was inspired by the 1982 film The Entity. Yeah, The Entity. That's a very interesting film about possession and, yeah, very good. Right. Okay, so what is the story? Well, it begins where we see Lauren Kite. She's an office in a company, and she's still kind of, you can see a lot of grief there in a way, because her boss that she worked for has died, and she doesn't want to leave the company, but she thinks she should do. And already we see a hint that something isn't quite right. And it's not grief or anything. There's something else there. She goes to a cash machine. She gets robbed. And then 2 bodies are found. And in a back alleyway just near where this happened. And then we get into the story then, after the opening music and what have you, and then we get Mulder and Scully once again being called in by these pair of agents who are again part of the something they don't say where they're from, but it's part of government and secretive. It could be CIA, it could be anybody like that, but they're not saying, and we soon realise why, because those two bodies that were found, they're very interested in, they were part of the robbery, but it turns out these are from an Islamic terror group. Okay, now what emerges is that the company that Lauren works for are under investigation because it's believed they were involved in selling arms, obviously legally, to this organization. And obviously they want to stop all that kind of thing if they're funding terrorism in that way. What happens from that is that it's the manner of the death of these two that is of interest, and it all becomes, it's linked to an X-file, though Mulder doesn't disclose that to these shady agents, because he's not very keen on that. But then we get into what this is all about. It's about, well, psychokinetic forces, because they are important and they're seen in the killings, which he looks at, and also the events around those, what's happening. And it seems to be centered on Lauren. Aha, you're saying. And also the other aspect to all this is that there seems to be a force or presence around Lauren that is protecting her. And this, they believe, is actually a boss. But of course, Scully, well, even no matter what evidence Mulder gives to her, which is always difficult, she's still very skeptical. And that's how it is very much in these early seasons as it develops, that Scully does take a lot of breaking down, in a sense, of scientific thoughts and ideas, and that's how it's always been, and that's the strength of the series at this time, and their relationship together. And we can see already, again, they're working well together, and it's excellent as the story unfolds. And actually, I think you see quite a bit of, with Mulder and Scully, compassion for Lauren, and I like that a lot in the story. The story works well because you get an emotional connection as well. Now, again, I looked at some of the criticisms of this story, who call it lackluster and, not as defined, but I think it's a good story. I think sometimes people get, when you add sort of character stuff, people suddenly go, they don't like it as much. Why? Because they think, it's deflecting from, lack of action or lack of this and that. But no, this episode's got all that. It's good. I don't understand why they would think that. But hey, that's how they are. But I really loved it. It's such a pleasure, as I say, going through these episodes, and I'm loving it. And there we are. Yes. Highly recommended again. And before I go, I'll just show you. Yes, there it is. The brilliant first season box set. Yes. Which is in the big giant box set. Which I always say, 9 seasons. Well, really, it's true of the box set, though I have got the first miniseries, which is the 10th season then. Okay, yeah, the 10th season is in there. And then I've got the other one separate. It's just separate. It won't fit in the box. The last one, the 11th one. Hey, buy it. So there we are. Hey, hope you enjoy it. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, well, please subscribe, because then we'll let you know when I produce all these videos. And always, if you want to know more of these reviews, have a look in the playlists I'm creating for the X-Files. Also, have a look at the players for other things that I've done, and just hopefully you might enjoy it, or perhaps you won't. And if you like this particular video, give it a like, because then it gives out onto YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy it on algorithms and all that, And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read what you have to say about it all. Hey, Mike, I do. And say it all costs no. So, hey, you can't say fairer than that, can they? Hey, Mike, you can't. And that's it. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.